Welcome to the Living Room Conversation podcast, where education meets fun through deep, meaningful conversations around relationship, mental health, career challenges, or simply finding joy in everyday life.
Our podcast gives you valuable insights, practical tips, and laughter along the way. I'm your host, Tasha.
And I'm Mia.
Get comfy, grab a drink or a snack, and join us in the conversation. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Living Room Conversation. I'm Tasha.
I'm Mia.
And today we're back with another episode talking about maternal mental health.
Yes.
So important to have, your mind in a stable position, especially during these times. Like, it's been crazy, and so I'm glad that we are having a discussion during Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
So we're gonna do check-in like we normally do. Yes. As we do check-in, girl, we gotta pour up a glass of wine. So how are you feeling, Mia?
This has been a long week, like, energetically.
Okay.
We all are fighting silent battles that people don't know about. So,
Absolutely.
like, there's things that I'm going through in my personal life, and it's really, it's really trying. But I have been devoted to just doing better, so, like, I've been going to the gym, so that's been helping and things like that. But yeah, this week was, like, heavy and long, and I was, like, kind of anticipating today, like, for two reasons. I was just anticipating, like, for two reasons. One, just because, what I had to do earlier today, and then today, obviously, like, this show for me is, like, just that moment where I can kind of, like, just unwind, just a space to be, like, authentic and transparent and connect with you and other people.
I'm always excited when we do it. Like, people don't understand that this is, like, our outlet. I'm super excited. Like, I was going through some crazy stuff today, and I had almost like I wouldn't say a mental breakdown, but I really had a moment where it was like, man, like, I'm doing so much. Like, I'm in it that I don't realize, I don't take care of myself. Like, my chest was hurting today, and at that moment, I knew I needed to sit down.
Yeah. And
it all dawned on me as I went into silence. I'm like, you know what? You take care of everybody else but yourself. So I'm like, Tasha, sit down, relax. It's Mother's Day weekend. And I'm super excited to be kid-free because I literally was crying. I'm like, shoot, like, I am burnt out. I'm burnt out. And it's not because, I'm trying to be burnt out and I'm putting things on my plate. It's just
life.
It's life. And also it's like sometimes I'm used to checking in with myself. And for this whole week, I haven't checked in with myself.
So it was like awareness that you had.
Yeah. So, and I had that awareness.
It's like your gas light come on. You be like, dang, I just been driving.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Washing on me. Okay.
So it was on E. So I was like, you know what? I called my mom. I'm like, it's Mother's Day weekend. I am going to relax because I don't want to, like, crash out. So, but I look forward to coming on this podcast every single week because it's like an outlet for us. It's like we can talk, express ourselves. You guys are getting, because
we gonna talk regardless.
We gonna talk regardless.
We was talking earlier this week. We already had a whole conversation. And we have some technical on IG. So bear with us.
Let's see. We got to see what's going on with IG.
Because that never happens.
I know. Give me 1 second. We're going to check IG because we stream from different platforms. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it and I'm going to redo it. Okay? Yeah. There we go. We're live. All right.
Do you think it needs to be on the Wi-Fi?
Probably. But did you need, can I put it on there?
I think you should be able to.
Oh, you connected to mine?
I should.
Okay. Hold on, y'all. Bear with us. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
It's on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's my new phone. I probably might not.
Okay. But, anywho, so, we're doing well.
Yeah. I think it's, I think one of the major things that I've realized is like, I've learned to be my own strength, and I've learned to seek strength from other places, though. Like, and it's good when you just have people that just kind of remind you, like, so it's like I've had those little reminders throughout the week just to like stay encouraged and just like, you good, stop tripping, stop overthinking. Like, I will
overthink all the time.
But I don't even feel like I've been overthinking. I just think that I'm one of those people where I think like all around. So like sometimes when you going around a certain, you'll be like, I don't know about this part, but you just gotta keep going and let it kind of work its way through. So that's why I'm like, just trying to put my focus somewhere else, and do what I can.
We can do what we can.
Yeah, and that's all we can.
Exactly. So you excited for Mother's Day weekend? Because I'm super excited, and our topic today is maternal health, and we're mothers, and we go through things just being moms.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited that we can get a mom break. Well, at least I am. I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, I've learned to give myself breaks at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I've been a mom for 21 years.
That's a wow. I feel so bad because like you like a vet to this. Like you the OG.
I'm still learning though,
And we don't never stop learning. But outside looking in, and I'm like, listen, I don't see how Mia can do it because Mia is like, she the OG when it comes to this, but she make this shit look so easy. And there's times where I'm like, ooh, these kids are driving me up a wall. But it's okay because like I love my babies and I know that I'm just in that stage where they're still young, you know. But also it's like it's okay to
teenagers drive you up the wall too.
I know they do. They're
grown kids. Listen, like all of them. It never stops. Like that part never stops. Like it gets easier in some aspects, but then it gets harder because when they're younger, you have more control over what they do.
I be feeling like some girl. Listen, I got control.
Wait till they want to be outside. Like,
oh wow, that's different. Now I'm scared of that because listen, my daughter, she about to be 10 in June, and when I tell you that she's already transitioned, I feel like 10 is you're at that age where you're transitioning, and you're about to step into that preteen. I'm watching this in real time. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just see like she's getting weight on her. Her face is getting plumped, and she's getting a little. And I'm like, oh my, like slow down. But it's beautiful to see the transition in our children. But I don't think I'm ready.
Because you can look up and it's like you can notice it, but then it's like you look up again and they don't transform. Like you can see them changing, and then you look up again, you be like.
Like I just turned around, blinked my eye for a second, and you like what?
Did you want to just check our sound on Facebook?
Yeah, I already did.
Okay,
so it's good. So I guess going into our topic, we got something special for y'all that we want to talk about. And we're going to play a video first before we get into our topic for tonight. And hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully you gain insight.
So if you are on IG, you can go to Latasha Shelton on Facebook if you have one and view the video. We're still trying to figure out this tech stuff so that you guys can be able to see what Facebook is able to see. But until that happens, feel free, like I said, to go over to her page and you can join with everyone else over there.
So my Facebook, my Facebook is Latasha Shelton. That's where the full production is at. So it's LATOSHA Shelton SHELTON on Facebook. And you'll be able to see the video that we're about to play. Okay. So with further ado, Facebook, I'm gonna play this video for y'all. Uh-oh.
African American women have a maternal mortality rate that is the highest of any demographic group.
We ask Black women all over the city, what is your birth experience? They continue to say, I don't feel safe and I don't feel like I can talk about that. The main goal for Mama Certified is so that moms can find out what is happening at the hospital as it relates to equity so that they can make a choice for their birth experience.
Mama Certified is important because it brings transparency to the care we provide, not only for women, but for their infants.
It's powerful because not only will that transparency help Black mothers make safer decisions, it also allows all mothers to be able to make safer decisions for themselves.
And this will help us to really hone in on Black women, what happens with them during their pregnancy experience, and to try to make it better.
This program is important because I am a mother. I'm a Black mother. I'm a professional Black mother, and I've had the opportunity to have a lot of great care each time I've had each of my 3 boys. But I know that some of my counterparts, Black and brown, don't have those same opportunities, particularly when they come from a lower socioeconomic status.
The most exciting thing about Mama Certified, and again, it's powerful as well, is the difference it will make in communities that may have felt as if they were overlooked over time. And I think that that's a very, very powerful message to send when it comes to healthcare and ending health disparities over time.
Because I feel like with my birth, it was trial and error, but how about we start ranking these hospitals and making it so therefore we will be able to maneuver it better. Like it's like an additional resource for me other than word of mouth.
Mama Certified is certifying that each hospital who has that logo on their wall is creating a space that is safe for mom to come into and to have the experience that she is asking for and expecting.
And we know there are racial inequities that are driving adverse outcomes for women, infants, and their families. So being able to identify this is important for transparency and the change that is needed to provide equity for our community.
It means that the lived experience of being Black in America has been acknowledged, and how that experience impacts pregnancies is now being addressed.
And we're dedicated to making sure that our Black queens get taken care of.
Mia and Tasha also have a story. They have a birthing story. They have a story that could have changed their life, but they didn't allow it to. So today they stand as community activists, board members of Mama Certified, and they stand with pride and integrity and willing to give everything of themselves to educate and push the community forward, not only for themselves, but as Black women.
And
Yes, so we're back.
We're back live. So we were chatting with IG just because they cannot hear the video, so we were just explaining to them what was going on. But yes, if you saw that at the end, me and Tasha we're in the Enquirer this weekend on an article about Mama Certified, and so I just feel really blessed. It's like a full circle moment for me personally. So like, you know, Black mental health, maternal mental health matters so much to me because, for one, okay, so I'm gonna read y'all a statistic, right? Yeah. So over 50% of Black women experience postpartum depression, and it's unreported.
Yeah.
So the statistics never encompass all the information because there's so many women that don't even know what's going on with them. And, you know, I know growing up, I heard like baby blues and, you know, things like that, but I never heard of like solutions to that. And so like for me, I mean, like the name of my book is on my sweatshirt, and like this is like a testament to just me, period, because it all started with like me being a mother and experiencing mental health issues, and how little help, you know, there is. Not only that, but just how like little information, how little I actually felt supported. I talk about this in my book when I discussed, I was a nursing student. I had 3 children under 4, and then my son was like 10. And I was a first-time college student at like the age of like 27 or something like that. And I was newly single, and I was like, what the heck?
Yes.
You know, like,
Yes.
this is a new life for me, right? And so I remember like talking to my mom and telling her, like, this is hard,
Yeah.
you know, like
I can
I'm
imagine.
struggling. I
Yeah.
was grieving my relationship, and I jumped into something new, which
Yeah.
was school.
Which, okay, and we do that
And
a
that's
lot.
what we do.
We do that a lot,
And I
yes.
ain't gonna lie. I said, oh, I'm gonna show him.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get myself together.
Yeah.
You know, like, because, you know, I felt like I was betrayed. And so I was like, oh, it's cool. You know, I started working out. I enrolled in nursing school. I said, you know, let me take care of me. Let me take care of my babies. But it was motivated. My why was not right.
Yo, why? Oh my gosh.
My why was not right. And like, I was doing great in school, but it got to a point where, like, you know, the momentum began to die out.
Yeah.
And I also was going to therapy. I went to 6 months of therapy. But like, everything just started to fizzle out. Something wasn't, you know, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
You know, and then I still was like, then he was incarcerated this whole time. So it was so many layers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was struggling. And when I looked back, like, no one knew.
No one knew.
No one knew. And when I look at my pictures, it's all in my eyes. It's all in my face.
And it's so funny that I want to highlight something you said, because we don't like to ask for help, right? But 2, the reason why it goes undiagnosed is because our counterparts don't pay attention to us.
Yeah.
It's like you said, I went back to my photos. I saw it all in my face. I saw it in my body. I saw it in my behavior.
Yeah.
And the folks that surround us, for some reason, they might notice, but they're afraid to say something, or they're so much caught up in
their
own stuff that
I think, you know, that's something that I've like had to come to peace with, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how can people that love me, you know, really not like show up for me, you know, or check in on me?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because I went years, you know, through this whole journey, like, and it hit 10 years ago was like the lowest point. I was in the hospital, you feel me, for 5 days. Like,
Wow.
and when I say that was some of the best time of my life.
No, it's so my mom always saying every time
no,
she goes to the
I
hospital,
kid you
she
not. Like, I know I had talked about this, I think, on the birthday episode,
Yeah.
but like, it was just all about me.
Yeah.
And I never, that's not familiar, you know, like, as far as like the attention, the care, you know, not having the responsibilities. But not only that, I'm an observer.
Yeah.
I'm a people watcher, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not a nosy person, but you know, that's like the wildflower. Like, so I just noticed so much there. And I'm just like, I'm not crazy. I'm traumatized.
That's valid.
I'm broken. Like, I've been through some things that like have really hurt me tremendously.
And it took you to go to the hospital.
Yes.
During that moment
Yeah.
to say, I'm broken.
And I was mad.
Yeah.
Because my mom called the police on me. Listen, I made a Facebook post, and I'm gonna go through, because I still got I'm a receipt queen, okay? I don't delete nothing. Hey, I don't delete nothing. So don't come over here and play with me.
Don't come for me, because you don't.
No.
Pull out the
Well, in
receipt.
2008. No, for real. But like, I was looking and I saw that it was still there. And but I had made a Facebook post, you know, and I didn't say like I was gonna, you know, KILL myself, but I just said something alarming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom like flew to my house, you know, and called the police, and it was really traumatic.
Okay.
And that was another thing that showed me how people even respond to mental health issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom is a licensed social worker,
Yes.
so she went into professional mode.
Yeah.
I needed a mother. I needed a mother.
That's deep.
No, seriously, I needed a mother. And, you know, it's like sometimes you just want to be held, even as an adult, you know? And so that was a part of like my healing journey as well. But like, you know, I went to the hospital and I was mad, you know, like they yanked on me, and my mom was like, you know, don't do that to her. Like, be careful. But it's like, where was the care and consideration before you got out there? You know what I mean? Like, so like, it was traumatic, but I had to get over that hump.
Do you think that your mom was in fear that you was gonna KILL yourself, or because like, did she go into the OMG, I care for my daughter, I don't want this to happen, let me call them, or you don't think she could have brought you back to that space of like trust or like being vulnerable?
I think so. I think she could have, and the only reason why I say that, you know, because one thing about me, I'm gonna speak my truth. And I've learned that sometimes it may make people upset, but I literally published a book and I put stuff in there that is part of my life. I can't change those facts. You feel me?
Yes.
But what I will say is that I feel like at that time, no. And the only reason why I say that is because I experienced a spiritual attack this year. And I know I had told you, but like, I didn't really like, you know, go like, but like, exactly 30 days before my birthday, so January 16th of this year, I experienced a really strong spiritual attack, and I was in a place of feeling like that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was like, and my mom came to my rescue, and she prayed for me, and she interceded on my behalf.
Okay.
And so 10 years ago, maybe she wasn't in the space to do that.
Yes, and then that's definitely, that's deep. Maybe she wasn't in the space to do it, but maybe she knew what to do the next time.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like we impulsive. We do things and we don't think about, because this is a new experience for us. And so we make the decision. So maybe she realized how much that probably hurt you, that she just changed her behavior and just said, you know what, my daughter just needed support. She just needed a hug, and we can get through this.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's
powerful.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, I had to get over that hump of being upset because I was really mad about that, and you know, but I took the, you know, the blessing out of it, and you know, and then I also, like I said, I put that part of my story in my book because that's important, which is one of the, you know, so that over for 50% undiagnosed, you know, is certain reasons why. And that is why, you know, like, it's the stigma, it's the fear of losing your kids.
Yeah.
It's the logistical barriers, obviously. So, you know, access and stuff like that. Cultural barriers, like we talked about some of them last week. What else? The systemic and interpersonal racism.
We have that. We experience that a lot.
The distrust of the healthcare system.
Yes.
You know, screening tools.
Yes.
You know, I remember. So in our interview with the Inquirer, she posted. She quoted me, and I remember, like I said, I had 3 kids back to back.
Yeah.
Not ever once was I asked about how I feel mentally.
I think, that's so,
like, it's not even a concern.
It's not. And that's why a lot of women go through this mental illness silently.
Yeah.
And a lot of women is killing themselves at alarming rate. Black women, it's because we don't feel vulnerable. We don't feel like, one, we trust the healthcare system.
Right.
But then 2, we can't even trust the closest people to us, which is our family, and then our child's father.
Yeah.
And so we go into this, I'm a suffer in silence kind of thing, and we don't reach out. And so that's why we're doing this show tonight, is because we want to make, it's an awareness thing. You know, we need to be aware of the people around us, but be aware of a woman that's suffering in silence. Pay attention, you know.
So so that's good. So like, what were some of the, have you ever feel like you suffered in silence?
I always feel like I suffer in silence.
So what do you feel like if somebody's looking for like some signs of somebody suffering in silence, like what from you? Then I'll give some, but like what are some of yours?
I feel like that extra strong person is secretly struggling.
Okay.
Because the strong people are the weakest people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say weak because we don't have a backbone, but weak
The
because
boundaries.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we're weak because we're too strong, and we're too strong that we become weak.
Yeah.
Seriously. So I feel like that's a red flag. If you always feel like, if you always see a woman saying, I got it, I'm gonna do it, because 9 times out of 10 she
don't want to do it.
Yeah,
she probably think it ain't gonna be done right, or she's used to let people let her down,
or people letting her down.
Yeah.
So she's always saying I got it because she's in. I only got me and only me.
Yeah.
I can trust myself. And so I feel like that is the warning signs of, a woman that's suffering in silence. But I do want to go back to postpartum because I feel like that's very important because I experienced postpartum depression myself. So, I had my daughter at 28 weeks. She was 1 pound 13 ounce. She was premature. I went to premature labor, and I developed a rare case called HELP syndrome. So basically, HELP syndrome is where your body starts to shut down on you. Your liver, your kidneys, you don't even clot anymore. So your body basically is trying to kill itself, bleed out, right? But I didn't know that I had HELP syndrome until I went to the hospital at 3:00 in the morning.
Okay.
But going back, because we talk about postpartum depression, but we don't talk about depression.
Oh, I was depressed when I was pregnant.
So,
for sure,
but I didn't know that I was depressed.
Yeah.
Because I was in a relationship
Yeah.
that ignored all the things that I was going through as a woman transitioning. And we got another kid. You already know. We got a baby cousin that showed up in the living room. So she gonna have to get regulated.
Now she feel like you just gave her introduction.
Yeah.
Miss Lady, don't
Miss
come
ma'am,
over
you gotta
here.
go that way. Miss ma'am. Thank you.
You ain't camera ready right now, baby.
You know.
I got that food right here.
All right, take the food upstairs. Thank you. And so I went through like a toxic, abusive relationship during that time, and I feel like my partner ignored a lot of my, depression. So
Probably the cause of it.
he was. I think he was.
Look, you can't be with a person, especially if you know them to be one way.
Yeah.
Like you can't be with a person and not notice that,
Yes.
especially if you're taking them through certain things.
Evil.
So it's like,
Fucking evil.
It was.
They're evil. All right, let me not go there because it ain't Bash Your Baby Daddy episode.
No, it's coming later.
I know, right?
No, I
pretty
just
juice near
swear.
you. Anyways, and so I went through that situation. I didn't really have family members or like women around me that was kind of giving me education about childbirth. And I think that's very important because you got to have women around you. This is my first baby. I don't know how to go through pregnancy. I don't know how to take care of myself. I don't have a community. I'm just going to any type of doctors. I don't know to go interview certain, physicians to, make sure that I was okay and secure.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny because after I had my baby and I went through postpartum depression, I realized I was set up from the beginning to fail. From the beginning, because I didn't have women that was around me watch me suffer in silence.
Yeah. Because that's what
That's
they
crazy.
did, though. That's what they did,
Yeah.
and that's what the women before them did. Sometimes people want to help us, and they don't know how.
Yeah.
They don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, they don't.
And it's so funny. It's so crazy because it's like you will think because they already went through their mistakes. They had their children and they know better.
But some of them are still holding on
Yeah.
to that. Like, they never, took the lesson and released all of that.
Yeah.
Like the lesson plan, So it's like, anything they're going to, if they give you advice, sometimes it might still be from that perspective.
From that perspective,
like they going through it still.
Exactly.
It could have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But so now add 20 years of resentment and
hurt and stuff,
disappointment,
and then hear your daughter or your cousin, whoever it is around you is about to give birth.
Yeah.
You don't have no advice for them.
Yeah.
And that's common in the Black community.
Really is.
So common in the Black community, and that's we're changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been community activists for Black women because I feel like this is a topic that we need to have.
Yeah,
you know?
I can't even, like, when you say that and when you say it sounds
crazy
know,
when you say community
no,
activist.
for real, because if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be sitting here doing this,
I know, right?
Baby, I would have been like, oh, you lying.
I
Like,
know,
there's
right?
no
I think
way.
we both look at ourselves like, what? Like, and then like all the accomplishments we have made
in a
throughout
short
the
amount of
process.
time.
Yeah.
Though. Like, I had a friend reach out to me earlier this week, and she was just like, I just want to tell you how proud I am. We've only known each other for 4 years, and we met like through Queens Village, but she was just like, I just want to let you know like how proud I am of you.
Yeah.
Like, in the short time that I've known you, you've accomplished so much. But when I look at my life sometimes, I'm like, okay, I'm still living in the same place. You know, certain
We
things
always
like,
know.
but it's literally manifesting a different way. Like, it's not, you know, like, it's like the things that are coming to me, I'm attracting opportunities that will put me in position to do the things that I want to do. You know, it's not like, it's, you know, we have to, like, I guess, rethink how we even, you know, look at success and different things like that.
But we're our own worst critics.
Yeah,
you know?
oh, for sure.
Yeah, because we believe in us.
Yeah.
That we want to succeed.
Yeah.
And so
I believe in me now. Like, this ain't even, you know, I didn't, like, even when I went to nursing school, like, I was just going. Like, I'm not going to really say, like, I believed in myself. Like, I just think, like, school had always been easy for me. I knew that I would have to study a little bit, you know, to obviously retain some of that knowledge. But I just felt like it was something necessary, you know, like, I'm like, what, because I didn't know my purpose, and I knew that I was in healthcare, so I knew I wanted to help people. I love caring for people. I love nurturing people. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I love love. Like, I'm a lover girl. You feel me? I can't help it.
How many episodes have you heard me? I'm a lover. Go back to every episode. And this girl just said that I'm a lover girl.
But you know what? I never even like. But
I'm good. It's cute. I love it.
But you know what's crazy? The old meal was not like that. Like, I was so tough. I was so like hard.
I was too.
So
I was
closed off.
I had all brothers. We both
like, my heart is so open right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so open.
Yeah.
You know, and
don't have it too open.
No.
Don't have it too open.
No, like, but you know, in a good way. But but you know, I know, like, I have all that wisdom now. So like, but it was like before, like, my heart it's like, it's so open, but the hole is so small. To get in, you know, because the access is limited. But it's like, it's so open though. It's like you go through the little hole, then it's like a vast like dimension. You feel me? Like, but you know, that's that. But like, my mental health, I do feel like I said, I had depression probably during pregnancy as well. You know, that's not talked about enough.
No, it's not.
And I definitely experienced it after, but I probably was depressed before I got pregnant. You know, like, it's just.
No, but it's so funny. Keep going, but I want to make a point on that too. Go ahead.
But no, like, I definitely think I think that my mental health has been something that I've probably dealt with since adolescence, and it just was never addressed.
Yeah.
And so when you start having children, your hormones, like, you know, I'm a person, I get pregnant, you know, I pretty much have easy pregnancies, but I had low iron, and some of my pregnancies I had gestational diabetes.
Yes.
You know, so those things impact your mood. Those things impact your energy. You know, just like your whole body. You literally are creating a life, and it's sucking what it needs from you. So if you are already deficient, and then your baby's pulling from you, you're like so far low, so far in the negative. It's like. And so if you don't have people pouring into you, if you don't know how to pour into yourself, because ultimately that's what I learned.
Yes.
When I was sitting in the house by myself with my kids, you know, crying, trying to figure out this, like, what to do, you know, feeling sad, feeling like I don't have control of anything. Like, I start pouring into myself. You really have to like speak positive self-talk over yourself. Like, you have, like, it's so a must. Like, you have to become your own cheerleader.
You do.
You really do. Like, you cannot be, because if you look for that in other people, especially in your romantic
you're gonna
relationships,
be disappointed.
because if they have that power to lift you up, they also can bring you down.
Absolutely.
And you have to know who you are without a title, without a pedestal, you know, without any of that. And if you choose to stop loving me or change the way you feel about me, I know that I'm still worth something.
Yes.
You know, I know that I'm still lovable and beautiful and capable, and I can still go on and succeed. And I think a big part of, you know, the mental health is how we're treated by the men.
I agree. I totally agree, and that's a whole.
And it's definitely a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
But you know, but that is definitely
important.
Yes, you know, because we're creating a life.
We are.
And you know, and so it's a woman, what she goes through when she's pregnant. I think that it is kind of like magnified.
It is.
In terms of, you know, the severity, like, because she's imprinting all that on her unborn child.
And I wanted to make a point before I lose my thought. Is I think you made a statement about I think I lost it. You made a statement about just having depression before you was pregnant, and then you developing like diabetes and preeclampsia, because I developed health syndrome preeclampsia, and so crazy because I guess I segue into our next topic is it's very important to seek help that feels comfortable for you. When I was pregnant and I had HELLP syndrome, I didn't have information. So that led me to having my daughter early. And when I had my daughter early, I had to go through that journey of really being separated from her and finding that connection again, because I did not see my daughter until I was in the hospital for like a week. I didn't see her for a whole week. So when I had surgery, they took my baby right away, and I wasn't able to have skin to skin with her. I just knew she was alive at that time, but I was really ill, right? And so as I went on a journey to try to nurse myself back to health, not only myself by myself, but I had a baby.
Speak about it, boy.
And I wouldn't say that I did not have help. But the amount of, now that I know, I'm a wise woman, I've been doing this work for 3 years, almost 4 years, right? I know what help looked like. So during that time, I would think that I had help, and it was enough for me at that time. But at this time, I'm like, it wasn't enough help. Because when it was all.
But that's crazy, because when we only expect a certain thing, or when we're small, it's like thinking small.
Yes. It's like it elevate.
When you bigger, you think bigger.
No,
like,
seriously, and that's a real thing. You know, and I think that's just come with maturity and life experience. But as I grew as a woman, as I realized that, okay, I have to nurse myself back to health. I have to get a baby. I have a baby in the NICU that is, ill. And I have to give all my energy to nurse this baby back to good health. So when I went through that process of breastfeeding her, getting her out of the NICU, and now I got to start a journey of being a mother again. When I say being a mother again, because it was separated, I just know that she was ripped away from me, and I didn't have nobody. So then I had to get that connection, because there wasn't a connection. It's like, I don't remember I was so sick, I don't remember having a baby. And so when she came out of the NICU, I'm like, it was like depression, like, who baby is this? Like, it's like I had a baby, like I didn't feel that connection for a very long time with my daughter. And I went through depression because I was robbed my first pregnancy of that experience. And so fast forward.
But that's crazy that you said, like, my mind is just like over here, like, when we in the car, I literally, I was thinking, like, what are we gonna talk about? And my mind wanted to talk about me losing connection with my first daughter when I had her, and it was for different reasons though. It was the trauma, the mama trauma, the baby daddy trauma.
Yes,
I went through the ringer when I was pregnant with her, and then when she was born, as an infant, she cried a lot. Yeah. I didn't know what to do for her, and I was like a good person when it came to kids and stuff. And
it goes back to you saying that you went through trauma. It was imprinted in her DNA, and then what happened was she took that same trauma and came in the world. Yeah, that's where colic come from. Anyways.
Exactly.
But
and I was I was probably so stressed out. Yeah. You know, trying to juggle everything and deal with people acting like fools and just my own. Like I vividly remember my relationship with my mom was so straight at that time. I'd be at work crying sometimes just based off something she
had the same experience.
And I'm like, this was all leading up to me being pregnant, and that's the thing that I think a lot of Black women don't realize. I've been talked about for having multiple kids and all that stuff like that. I mean, I have 6 children. It is what it is. At this way, But like when I was younger,
as long as you embrace it.
Yeah, but when I was younger, I probably didn't think about certain things. They say you need to wait a year, before you get pregnant and stuff like that. Like there were certain things that I just didn't know, or I maybe had heard, but I just whatever the decisions I made, I can't say that I made the best decisions, but those decisions, led me to just becoming better, right? Yeah. But it was just so much misinformation, that I had, and then when I think about all of that, like you said, being pregnant, it's a creation.
It is
you're creating a whole life, and I don't think people really think about the seriousness of that. You're creating a whole
they don't
person.
Because people be so lost and they be so caught up in their stuff that they don't realize that this is your seed. You are creating
this. No,
this
for
is
real.
Life. This is your
It's a manifestation of the inner you.
It is. It definitely is. It's
of you and this person combined.
Yes.
It's what if y'all genetics ain't even
in alignment with each other?
Then you have this child.
Yes, you do. But that's not talked about. I feel like we should have a whole episode.
We are. We're going to have a whole episode to talk about that because, no, for real. And then our kids go into the world and have these problems.
And we don't think about that before we have children. And
y'all didn't love each other. Y'all was just screwing.
Y'all was just screwing. Y'all had this baby. And it was, I feel like, ooh, sorry. I'm going to get in trouble if I say this. Because when they say in the Bible that bastard child, I don't even think that they're talking about being married. I be thinking that they saying two people ignorant that came together, that created creation, that is going to take on your same traits and become a bastard kid. I don't know. Maybe I just made that up. Maybe I just made it up.
Maybe you will. I don't know. Maybe I think certain things, because people. Yeah, I think certain things. I'm the type of person. Things are open for interpretation. Sometimes.
Exactly.
Because we're not living in biblical times as far as so certain things is you have to kind of look at them from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I said, all those things, just they really play into a factor of our pregnancy.
I agree.
Of the things that we experience, and and I'm just glad we're creating this space to talk about it, because some of the stuff I ain't never talked about before, ever. And I don't feel ashamed. I have no shame for anything I've gone through, because it literally put me here, right here. Moment.
And I feel like God does that. It's a path.
If you allow it.
If you allow it.
Because sometimes we fight it.
We do.
And that also plays in our mental health.
Yes.
But what if I carried the shame that they wanted me to carry? Mm-hmm. Where would I be right now? Where would I be?
Talk about
it. It wouldn't be in the Inquirer this weekend.
No,
I might be dead. Seriously.
No, I think you're right.
And don't be cutting our video off.
I told
that word.
Right. If you watch our last episode, we talk about suicide awareness and stuff. No. We don't promote any of that.
No, absolutely
But what
not.
we're gonna say is we're gonna tell our story, and we're gonna live in our truth, because we in the living room.
Yeah.
And when you in the living room, listen, we talk about everything that's uncomfortable. right? So,
And I think that when you're a high vibrational person, when your purpose is big, like I shared a post earlier, but like you will go through certain things, and one of those things is to extinguish your light.
it's so funny because I was just telling my friend, I said, we ask for big things. It's like a lot of people say, God, give me the 40 acres and a mule, right? And it's like, okay, I can give you the 40 acres and a mule, but what you gonna do with it? And sometimes people ask for something that's so big that they're not able to handle it because it's just given to them, right? They don't know how to build, create, plant, whatever it is on that 40 acre mule. They want it because they see it and that's they desire it. It looks good. But then somebody that say, God, that really want it, God, give me the 40 acre and a mule.
That's willing to get out in the field and work that 40 acres.
Till that grass.
That till that land.
Yeah.
And do what needs to be done.
Exactly.
And don't complain about it.
And don't complain. So sometimes
I feel like that's
when you want to get to your end goal, God puts things in a way in our path to see if we can really handle what we're asking for. And I feel like every time an obstacle comes to me, I'm like, that's just a test. Yeah. Because my thing is this, every time I go through an obstacle and I get through it, and then another one comes and I get through it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm close to that, to my 40 acres and a mule. I'm literally saying, but you know what I'm saying? I'm closer to my dream, to my mission. You know, I'm closer to being where I say I wanted to be. Yeah. And it's like we show up every single week. We're consistent, and it's like we might have difficulties. We might have went through hell before we get on this couch. But guess what? This is all a test. Yeah. At the end of the day, it is. He want to see how you show up. He want to see if you can handle the pressure.
How strong are we? Say we strong.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's like, oh, I'm tired of being strong. Okay. But then it's like when your strength is needed, that's when it really matters. Yes, it's not about sacrificing yourself for things that don't matter. You know, like if you got time to give to everybody else, you can take this person here, take them to the store, take this person to work, run them down the street, do all this stuff. And then when it comes to something you want to do for yourself and you don't want to put the time in, you don't want to put the energy in, you're weak. You're weak. I agree. Like that's not strength. Strength is being able to tell people no. I have something to do for me. Yeah, I agree. And not feeling like they're going to love you any less. Not feeling like you're going to be rejected. You know, not feeling like, you know, whatever. Like that you're going to lose them in some type of way because you protected yourself or you stood up for yourself. Yeah. You know, and I think a lot of the mental health things that, you know, Black women go through is really because of not being comfortable to use our voice. Yes. And it goes, and I want to segue into why it's important to, you know, reach out for help, especially when it comes to childbirth. And that's, in a video you guys saw that, you know, Mama Certified is in place for us to know the warning signs and check, you know, we checking in and getting a doula. So I want to go back to my story. So I became a doula after the situation happened with my daughter. And I realized that I didn't have a community. I didn't have no one to talk to. I didn't have family and friends. It was just me. And it was me trying to figure out my path as a mother. So fast forward to 2020, I got pregnant again with my youngest daughter. And I said, this time I'm going to reach out to community because that's what I was lacking. And my birth was beautiful. I interviewed physicians. I made sure that I had a right healthcare. Reclaimed your MFM.
I made sure that I had a right people around me. Yeah. Even though my relationship wasn't the best, I knew what to do. You knew for you what to do in that moment, right?
For you, yes. And it's so important.
And then I also had a doula around me. So after I experienced a beautiful birth with my baby girl, I'm like, okay, this can be easy. Yeah. It doesn't have to be hard, right? It's a lack of information. It's a lack of community that's really that has played a part in my mental health in my first pregnancy. Because I didn't have people around me supporting me. I didn't know that doulas existed then. I didn't know that midwives existed then.
And sometimes we have to go through things to even know what we want or need.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like, who knew you needed a doula until you needed one?
Yeah. I didn't know that as the Black community,
I didn't never heard of a doula.
Exactly. We never knew, and we knew about granny midwives, you know, before it switched over to the healthcare center. Since
my family told me nothing about birth, like,
yeah,
you know, that wasn't.
I don't think so.
Some women, some families, it's like birth is almost very shameful.
Yeah,
they don't talk about it. Like, they don't, you know, it's like, you know, you want to be here now. I don't want to see that. Yeah. You know, it's like,
when I heard birth, like, growing up, I heard that I heard complaining. Okay. It was always complaining about, I've never heard anything beautiful about childbirth, you know? And so even when I had my baby, I thought like, oh, I'm going to be craving this. I'm going to be cranky. I'm going to be swollen.
I knew nothing.
You know, like, and so you have those negative thoughts. I feel like sometimes you manifest
manifest the negative self-prophecy. It's like a self-prophecy.
You do.
Yeah.
So once I had Aaliyah, I'm like, you know what? I want to be a doula. I want to be an advocate for Black women. I want to show them that there is another route. There's another way. All you need is somebody there to give you the education. And so in 2021, I went to doula school, and I didn't know what I was doing. Let me tell you something. I didn't know what I was doing. I had women around me in the birthing world trying to give me away, but when you win it, right? You just kind of got to learn, you know. You just got to be in there, you know. And so when I saw successful births physically around me, I realized that, why are Black women not getting this education?
Right. Why are we 3 to 4 times likely?
Why are we dying?
Yeah.
You know, and that's a real concern. Why are we dying?
Yeah.
Because it's one simple problem. That's education. Because when you're educated, you know the laws. When you're educated, you can stand up for yourself. When you're educated, you can go get a doula. When you're educated, you know you don't have to be in a hospital giving birth against nature.
I don't even, like, they do make you lay down to birth, but, like, you know, like, a lot of people think, like, oh, when you're in labor, you got to stay in the bed. Like, baby, this hurts me. And I'm going to speak up because I was going unmedicated, right? And so I can feel everything. And so I'm in tune with my body. And I'm telling them, like, no, when I'm on my back, it hurts more
when you're actually sitting up,
and it's versus or standing and just, you know, kind of like, you know, swaying or whatever. But like, laying down is not the way we should be giving birth to our babies, because our heart rates drop. The baby's heart rates can drop. It's so much stress. Like, why? I have a picture of me with an oxygen mask on. I'm laying down in labor and I've got an oxygen mask on. Why? I'm not doing anything. Why can't I breathe?
Because you're going against nature. We supposed to naturally.
And then we wonder why we're not. Like, because look how y'all treating us like
first and foremost like dogs,
like a manufacturing center.
No, but it is. That's exactly what it is. That's where the education comes into play. It's the healthcare center. It's money. It's westernized, you know, healthcare. It's all about money. You know, at the end of the day, the longer you labor, the more they can give you a C-section, and the bigger, the more they, you know, you're paying the doctor to live a lifestyle.
Which they be setting up, because, you know, when my son, I remember, like, I pushed for probably an hour and a half. This is my first baby. You know, I was 3 days into my 17th year, you know, and it was like, I was tired. I had been unmedicated for like 11 hours, and it was to the point where I was just tired. And I'm like, okay, just give it to me. But then they give you so much.
So they gave you a C-section?
No, I had an epidural. Okay. But like, they give you so much, you can't feel it.
But then that's the thing.
So then it's like, oh, well, you've been pushing for, if we don't progress, we're gonna have to give you a C-section. It's like, where is the balance at? You give me so much medicine, I can't feel my legs, they're numb. You know, I think that I'm doing a good job. Because I told myself, like, you know, like, it's like, but then you telling me I'm not, and if I don't hurry up, basically. You're rushing.
You're on
my
a
birth.
time clock. So when you go into the hospital,
Yeah.
I want people to understand this.
Yeah.
And it's me as a doula talking to you guys and give you the education
Mm-hmm.
from experience. You know, I tell you to labor as long as you can before you go into the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shift change. You know,
Just don't wait too long. Listen, I almost had Molly on 75 North.
well,
Okay.
I wouldn't say wait too
Don't
long,
wait too long.
but I feel like it is. I say try to go when you feel like you can't tolerate it no more. That's what I tell my clients. Is say go to the hospital when you can't tolerate it no more. Because 9 times out of 10 you're transitioning, right?
Yeah.
And so because here's the thing, when you go to the hospital, you're on a time clock. It's like you're clocking into work.
Right.
Pretty much.
No, for real.
And so they're clocking you like they clocking their money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes they're clocking you. And that's where they put those notes in the system to say that Black women is very aggressive and Black women is this, because they're ready to get out.
Because why are you asking me all these questions?
Yeah, why
I'm in labor.
But
baby.
and it's not even that. It's
know,
just
like
when you talk about the healthcare system, when nurses come in, nurses bring their household problems to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just
now,
like any other people, because they human, you know, but yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
So when I tell you that most of them are overworked, nurses are
for
overworked,
sure.
they're overstressed, and then most of them come from a town of Indiana, Kentucky, you know.
And then they still gotta go home and be a mama themselves.
Yeah, but
you know,
what I'm saying is they bring that racism to the hospitals, because they come most
where
nurses
it's
is
already
rural
in that
towns.
type of system anyway.
Exactly.
You know? So it's like
they're not worrying about you.
Yeah.
They're worrying about being there, paying their mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're out of tune with Black women because they don't live around Black women.
Yeah.
And so we come with a different type of culture that they don't understand. So automatically they're coming in with problems. They're coming in overworked. They're coming in whatever. And so they're putting this these notes in the system as if we're combative. And so when they switch shifts, the next nurse
they passing that information
is passing the information on. And so by that point, when a shift change, that's why I say, you know, it's better to labor long so you don't be part of that shift change. No, this is a real
for
thing.
real. Because
like,
I know
I'm
I'm
a doula. This is a real thing.
I mean, for the most part, I feel like all my nursing staff was, you know, very friendly and helpful. But I have experienced some nurses that had very poor bedside manners.
Poor bedside manners, absolutely.
And, you know, listen, don't let my mama be there. Cause but she'll speak up. But, you know,
But from the notes that the last nurse left, and then the nurse coming in, and then they see a snippet of it, they're automatically making
because they have to move fast, and you know, and there's not a lot of individualized care. Yeah, you know, and I mean, and I think even like, you know, in the hospital, it's like you don't really get a lot of sleep. They're in and out. Yeah, you know, so you already just giving birth. You've gone through this big metamorphosis. You've given birth. And then you are in the hospital, you know, maybe 48 hours, maybe longer, but you're not even getting rest. You're not asleep. You know, like I know the hospitals that I had, you know, one hospital, but you have your baby in the room with you the whole time. So unless you feel like, you know,
want to take your baby,
my baby have stay with me at all times. But like, you know, but like it's like, so you're like constantly being woke up, you know, sleeping very. Then you go home, and if you have other children there, you know, you still got a whole house waiting on you. Yeah, you know, you still. And so
that's where the support comes into play, because not only we deal with the hospital, we got to go home and still live a life and then adjust to a new baby. Right. So like when I knew that doulas existed and I knew that, oh, we can be in a hospital advocating for these women. I can stand up and say, this is not what we're going to do. She has all rights. You work for her. She don't work for you. Yeah. And most Black women don't know that when you sign on the dotted lines that you want to have birth at that hospital, they're on your shift. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. They get paid for your pain.
No, for
at
real.
the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so now you have
y'all
all
know how
rights.
y'all go to these restaurants and be complaining about y'all food. And
No,
they right.
Exactly.
For real. Why do we not keep that same energy?
Yes, but here's the thing: a lot of people don't know when you go to the hospital, the healthcare system is hiring the hospital to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on your clock. And so when women come into the hospital, I've noticed that when I had trained clients to go into the hospital where they work for you mentality, I noticed that they had a better birthing outcome than the women that went into the hospital giving them all of their rights, giving away a lot of their rights because they don't know.
Yeah, because they know, like they see, like, oh, this person, they ain't to be played with. You know, like, and so
because you know
it's
you're gonna
kind
hold them
of
accountable.
like right. So I mean, we set the bar for ourselves. We do. Like, we set the bar for ourselves. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and you know, we have to continue doing the work to educate ourselves, educate, you know, our community, educate our daughters coming up, you know, about the rights that we have, the power that we have. Like, that's really the only way for change. You know, like I mean, my children, you know, I hope it's a long time before they have any kids, but you know, like talking about depression, postpartum depression, or you know, the things that maybe you feel or you experience, you know, feeling like you don't know what's wrong with you. Feeling like you just want to cry. Yeah. Feeling like, you know, maybe you can't sleep. Maybe you want to sleep too much. Yeah. Maybe you just want to eat your feelings away. You know, maybe you crying a lot. You don't know why you're crying. Maybe, like you said, you're not feeling a connection with your baby. Yeah. Like, there's so many different things. Some women literally go crazy after having a baby.
They do. And it's so crazy because I think I want to hold that. Okay. Because seriously, because I feel like that is important. Because I wanted to talk about how men can support the significant other, and I feel like I want to make that a practical tip, but I do want to give a practical tip.
Yeah, sure.
So, just as a doula, right? For women that's watching that maybe know somebody that's about to give birth, maybe they're about to give birth themselves. I want to give you guys some practical tips to take in consideration. One, I'm gonna say, go get a doula, right? Get a doula because I feel like you're fine. Go get a doula because I feel like a doula will give you that education and guide you, but also give you that, you know, help you through childbirth, help you through the, you know, the postpartum. Because I feel like when you got a doula and your doula is there during your postpartum stage, I feel like it helps with not developing postpartum depression. So,
and I'm glad that they're trying to change it where like people that have Medicaid can actually, you know.
I was gonna say that's a whole other thing though.
I mean, it is, but you know, like underserved people deserve to have the same access to certain things, you know, for their health care as well as people that can just go afford to pay for it.
Okay, so I have my own views about that. I'm a doula, okay? So I'm going to give it to y'all real. We don't need the system to pay us for like Medicaid. We don't need that, right? Because if my sister going into labor and she can't afford my private pay, I'm still going to be there for my sister.
But that's you.
No, but I'm saying, but hear me out because I'm going to make a point, right? Because I can go all the way back to history, right? When we had granny midwives. Granny midwives, the reason why granny midwives went away is because that westernized medicine came into place and they didn't have a choice but to become nurses. Nurses came from granny midwives. But why I'm saying it with the doula of Medicaid stepping in, because westernized medicine or westernized healthcare system is still stepping in, taking control of the organic, holistic lifestyle that us naturally Black women live. Yeah. And so as a doula, because I'm not the only doula that feel this way, I feel like it is great for underserved Black women to be able to hire a doula to get the help. But when I tell you though, when you read the laws, the restrictions they put on us for our practice is where they indoctrinate us. Yeah. The indoctrination comes into play when it comes to, the Medicaid is putting into place for as doulas and we can reach out to the Black community, but also we have to pivot a lot of our practices because a lot of that's how they get you. I'm going to sponsor a doula for you.
Yeah.
And then they get doulas. But if you become a doula, you can't do this, that. So basically, you looping me back into your system.
Okay.
Is what you're doing.
Okay.
You're limiting me in my holistic practice to serve that woman the way I know that woman needs to be served. So we don't care about no healthcare system. We want to genuinely be there for that Black woman and educate her and fight against the system. But whoever it is, the higher power has a way of still trying to play the game, right?
Well, of course, I just think it's a start, though. Like, I think it's, obviously when you first doing something, it's not going to be right the first time.
It's not.
Like, you have to keep the good fight, as they say.
Yeah.
So I just think it just shows change in the system. And I feel like, for what it's worth,
I feel you.
Like, it's some form, because there could be a woman, that, like, she could hear what you're saying, but then she could just really just want, more support.
Absolutely.
So, for what it's worth, but, that's just being biased. That's just being unbiased about it. But like I said, there's always room for advancement within anything. The laws and things are always changing, and that's where the work comes in from the community to keep on advocating and to keep on like pressing these issues so that it can be right just for us.
And I definitely get your perspective. Absolutely, 1,000%. You are saying everything correct. I feel like it comes with the community being in the community and taking the third party out of it and rallying around each other so that we don't have to worry about these issues and problems. It really comes down to the community and the community. That's why I love Queen's Village so much, because they said, you know what? If they not going to do it, we going to do it. And we going to bless this mama, right? This mama's going to get mama blessings.
Yeah.
Because if I don't recognize her, if they don't recognize this Black queen, I'm going to recognize this Black queen and I'm going to pour into her. And so I think that's just somebody like me that have been in the healthcare system that has worked alongside with women. I've noticed that women don't really care about, they just want the community. They want women next to them.
Yeah.
They want to see their mama, auntie, uncles. They want to see the doula, because before it was a doula, before a doula was a thing, it was just your cousin being there and being supported. And don't quote me out, the Greek word for doula is a woman that helps.
Okay.
That's what doula means, right? When before they put doula on it, it was a woman that helped you. If that was the case, I've been a doula since I was a kid, because every time my cousins or somebody had a baby, I was always there. And what you want to do? You need to rest? You want to drink some water? I was always there. I was helping that woman get through whatever she needed to get through childbirth, right? And so, of course, everything was westernized, and we put these fancy names on it, but it's like, doula means community. Doula means family. Doula means you, me, and everybody else. Let's doula each other.
Yeah.
And so let's start pouring back
to
into that woman.
Into bartering and sharing our gifts, sharing our wisdom with each other. I think that's very important.
I agree.
Like, that goes back, to like just the mental health. Because you have to be around women that are good, that are healed, because all that energy is like, it'll transfer.
It does.
And then they're not going to be open to be supportive. Like, so, unfortunately, everybody doesn't have access to that. I know when I had my children, I had my family and, maybe a friend or two, but like, most of my labors, like, I didn't have like a one support person that like got me through that.
Exactly. And there's one, maybe I'm that woman. I'm that woman. And I'm going to tell y'all, I stepped back from the doula world, right? And because being a doula and being in the hospital can doulas need to be checked on too.
No.
It can mess with your psyche and your mental health, because you're advocating for this woman, and you believe everything you believe, and then they're exchanging energy with us too, and so we're depleted after we deliver your baby and we go home.
Because it's real
it's
work.
A lot. It's a lot.
Work.
It's a lot. And so I feel like pouring back into the community, and I feel like, ask your cousin, you want to be my doula? They be like, oh, you gave me that title? People want to feel that way.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for a doula. I tell people, don't pay for my service. Now, if you want me to be your doula, I'll be your doula. Don't have no high expectations of me. I'm just going to be there, and I'm going to love on you. Don't put me on a pedestal as a nurse. Don't put me on a pedestal as a midwife or whatever. I'm here to be my authentic self and to love on you and give you everything you need so that you can have a safe, healthy birth, right? But we forget that a doula, again, only means a woman that helps. I feel like anybody that helps. So if you have a auntie, whoever, a mother that's willing to push you through and love on you, that fancy title by saying, can you be my doula? Can you help me? Your only job is to give me the resources and the love and the support that I need.
I remember when because I had my doula training back in October of last year, and I remember specifically her saying, like, we're just that support person.
Yeah, we're the support.
We teach, the family how to, if you need your back rub and stuff, like, this stuff we teach your family, but we're here, for support, but it's like, so you have to know what to expect. You have to know what role people serve in your life. I think that's important.
That is very important. You got to know people's strong points. I got the auntie that is the holistic one. That's the wound healer, right? She gonna tell you to drink your raspberry leaf tea, right? Going back to practical tips, right? We talk about eating healthy. You might have an aunt that know all about health and nutrition, and she's gonna tell you, oh baby, don't put that in your body. Eat this, drink this. You know what I mean? And then you might have somebody that's the prayer warrior. Oh, she gonna lay some hands on you. We gonna pray to make sure that your mental health is good. And find the people like that. And then also,
and another person, the one telling you to sit down for 6 weeks.
Sit your ass down. Those people
ain't supposed to be outside. No,
exactly.
For real. Like, you're not supposed to be outside.
And then I say, doing the research, because you got that auntie or whoever it is that they want to know.
Scare you.
They nosy. They want to know. They be like, I don't believe that. Let me look up this hospital. Know your rights.
And go to mamacertified.org.
Yeah, go to mamacertified.org for more information, because they give you information about what the hospital is doing to serve Black women when it comes to maternal health and infant maternal health.
So that we can make those informed decisions.
Exactly. And so I say, know your rights. I say, ask questions. If you're concerned, interview your doctor,
Don't be afraid to speak up.
Don't be afraid to speak up, because I feel like we need this information. How can you help me? What are you going to do to make sure I have a safe birth? I need to see status. I need to see stats, Ask those hard questions, because the reason why they're getting away with so much stuff is because we don't know that we can ask them these questions, right? And that's
because they have the degrees, which, it's like they
serve
opinion, but doesn't matter.
Exactly. So, and also when you go into the hospital, I say have a birthing plan.
Yeah, for
sure. Making sure that you are putting everything in your birthing plan so that they know what you're looking to get out of this birth, right? So if you want to give birth standing up, it's your right. If you want to eat and drink during your birth, it's your right. They only tell you that because they say it slows down your pregnancy or whatever.
Your labor.
It slows down. It slows down your labor. They're not gonna give you the right information. Also, you want to tell them, like, I don't want to be medicated, because sometimes they go in there automatically saying, I'm going to medicate you, and that's just that.
Mm-hmm.
You know your rights. Don't let them scare you and tell you that you're not progressing quick enough and that we need to, you know, break your water. No, it's your right. So when you come in there knowing that you don't want these things and you got the proper information on what the things do, then you can control a lot of your birth. I feel like birthing, you have to be in control of your birth, right? And a lot of us isn't in control. And why we're not in control is because we don't have a birthing plan. So I think that's very important.
I think it's bigger than birth. I think it's just life in general, you know. And so, like, on the maternal, like the mental health side of it, I feel like, you know, you have to make time for yourself, you know, however much time it is a day. You know, some days you might need 5 minutes, some days you might need a couple hours to sit in your car alone. You know,
seriously,
for real, it may vary, and don't be afraid to do that, right? You know, make sure you're doing things that feed your mind. You know, try to stay away from, like, I know when I was pregnant, I would binge watch like pregnancy stories. Like, maybe if you suffer from anxiety, that ain't the thing you should be doing. You know, like we have to be wise with our decisions, right? Make sure that you're eating healthy. I think one of the things, you know, mental health in general, you have to eat good. It's like you are what you eat, right? So if you eat a bunch of junk, you're gonna feel like junk. Like I mean, so when you're thinking about it, you're creating a life. Like, let's think about your bake, like they say, a bun in the oven, right? Don't you want all the right ingredients? You do. If your ingredients are off just by a little bit, it will throw your whole recipe off. So you want to make sure that you're, like, nourishing yourself with good things, you know, drinking water,
exercising,
because it helps us with labor.
It does.
It helps us
yoga,
with labor.
All that,
you know, stretching, all of that stuff, going for walks. You know, journaling. I'm a big advocate of that, period. Like, I will forever be a big journalist. I said journalist.
Right.
Listen,
you know,
I
went to school for being a journalist in communications.
But you know, but just like I said, just really, like, pouring into yourself in those good feel good ways, you know, getting around women that are supportive, that are going to check on you, you know, make sure that you have what you need, you know, even delivering. Like, I was thinking back on it, I'm like, man, I wish I had meals
prep. But here's the thing, that's what we do as doulas. We go and do these different things.
Like, cause who want to come home and be frying chicken? You just had a baby.
But I feel like, you know what? Go back to that. That's what I was gonna say. Our men, we need to not only get a doula, but y'all need to step up and be men doulas, because I feel like our black men
you know
need
what?
to be educated. Also,
I think it also come back to the family and, like, how birth is looked within our family. Some families, they're very supportive and they gonna step in, and then some people don't have that. You know, and so that also is the stigma around birth, around just all of that. You know, like, because if you're having one of those days and it's like you got a screaming baby and you got other kids and you got a house and you just don't know, like, you know, you got to come up with somebody you can call, you feel safe, like, hey, you know, I'm having one of those days. I need some support. Like, don't be afraid to reach out. I think that was my biggest thing. I didn't want to be looked at as crazy. I didn't want to be looked at as like I didn't have it together. I didn't want to be looked at like a bad mom. Or, you know, whatever. But it's like, who cares what it looked like? What it looked like is you've been in the bed for 3 days.
Exactly.
And you need to take a shower. But I fed them kids, though.
Right, so, because we laughing, I just want to, like, you know, we talked about all this serious stuff about, you know, postpartum depression.
And we had some good comments, too, as well. We had people, good job, good convo, you know, because these are the things, honestly, it feels good, you know, because when you share, a part of our gift to the world is to share what's in us, right? Share our knowledge, share our wisdom, share, you know, our hobbies, share our love with people, right?
And even if we come from different backgrounds and different perspectives.
See, we don't always have the same perspective.
Because we don't always have the same perspectives. Like, I might think so far left and Mia might be so far right, but
it's about
Respect is-
respect, and it's about, you know, just balance.
It's
Like,
balance,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, for
'cause-
sure.
And I feel like that's needed, and people need to hear from different perspectives because there's no right or wrong way to do things at the end of the day.
We have all these billions of people in the world. Everybody does not think the same.
No,
we got all these different energies and timelines. So, like, you know, it's okay.
And that's what makes us us. That's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Yeah,
what makes
for
our
sure.
journey our journey. So.
And that's how we actually open ourselves up to more empathy, more compassion, more understanding, because we can look at this person and say, okay, I hear you, I see you, and I value what you have to say. I may not agree with everything you're saying, you know, but I respect what you're saying. I respect where you're coming from.
Absolutely.
You know, I respect your ability to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not a competition.
It's not. No.
It's not, you
No.
know. And, so,
And that's the beauty of us because we come from two different backgrounds, two different lifestyles. I mean, a lot of things align with us, but a lot of things are different, right? And it's like that's what community is about, but that's what sisterhood is about. It's like, you know, embracing someone being different than you, you know. And I have done that. It took me a long time to see things in somebody else's perspective because I was so caught up in what I thought in my my own world, you know. And so then when I got into the birthing world and then I got out there, I'm realizing like, oh, everybody come from different backgrounds. You got to learn how to adjust to fit in other people's backgrounds.
Yeah.
And so I think that's very important.
Well, before we go, speaking of seeing things, so I'm pissed because I went to Kroger. I was gonna get you some flowers, you know, for Mother's Day, and just because, you know, you've opened your space to the living room conversation, and you know, you like, y'all can't see our setup, but we got lights, we got camera action over here. But like, and then I was just at the hair store to get my daughter a wig cap, so do her quick leave. But I saw this and I thought this was beautiful, and I was like, oh, and it reminded me of a mirror, like, so I feel like you mirror back the beauty in me, like sometimes when I
want to cry.
but like, you know, we all have our days, and you know, I'm just like, we've been on this journey. You know, baby, but like, you know, just it's like when we first met, just like 2 years ago, like I'm just like, wow, like I didn't even know that we would be here.
That's so genuine.
No, for real. Like, and I don't have a lot of female friends. I never have, and I just, you know, so I appreciate when I have genuine people in my life. So I had got you this little mirror. It's real cute. And I wanted to get you some flowers, but Kroger was, baby, y'all gotta do a better job for Mother's Day, North College Hill, because those flowers was looking thirsty.
North College Hill, you don't even
those flowers. Well, you know, I stick to mine, which is
you need to go to Co-Rain.
That's the only one I go to. But
I'm checking myself.
But yeah, and then I don't know. I have a copy of my book.
I love
butterflies.
Anybody that know me know I love butterflies, y'all.
Yeah.
So she got me a cute mirror. Oh,
and I'm still getting
and I feel
flowers.
so bad because I ain't got nothing.
No, but that's not like I knew would have. I'm like, she probably ain't, but
I
it's
be
not
doing
about
a lot.
that. Yeah, like I just saw it. I was at the checkout. I was like, oh, that would be cute.
This is my Mother's Day little kid. This is so cute.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna get you some flowers.
This is a real moment, y'all.
But
This y'all catching this a real time.
And then I have a copy of my book, and I was gonna give you one if you want one, but I also want to gift 2 women. So like, I want to do like a IG giveaway and a Facebook giveaway. So I know we can't see the live comments from Facebook.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but I definitely want to. If you want to be entered in the drawing, just message one of us, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not in my inbox or me.
But yeah, I'm gonna make a post because I want to give this away to 2 people, like maybe one from IG, one from Facebook, like I said. And you know, whatever. But I just, like, for me, you know, I have 5 daughters. Like, my mission is just for women to all feel empowered, beautiful, confident, sufficient, enough, worthy. You know, just become the love of your life. Complete yourself. You know, complete yourself. Save yourself. own who you are, the good, the ugly, the in between, but use the ugly parts to really look in the mirror and just kind of work on yourself so that you can become better, because I ain't got it all together. And
I don't
you
think
know,
no one
and
has
it's
it all
like,
together.
but
We don't have it
people
all
may
together.
look at us
Yeah.
sitting here and they think something, you know.
I cried
and
today,
like,
and I'm crying right now.
I literally, like I just said, 10 years ago, I was sitting in the hospital, you know, just at rock bottom.
Yeah.
Like, and just 5 years ago, I probably was still like, I wasn't at rock bottom, but like I was like about to break through the surface, you know. And I just want to let you know that it takes time. Like, if it took you 30 years to be hurt and to learn a bunch of things that you didn't need, and like, it's gonna take you time to unlearn it.
Yeah.
But the more that you dedicate yourself to your life mission, to your purpose, to loving your children, our babies, despite, you know, how we got them, they're blessings.
They are.
And I feel like me embracing that part of motherhood, you know, releasing myself from the statistics, the stigma, the shame, like all that stuff, really helped me to love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I look at it like a calling now.
Yes, it
like,
is.
This is a calling.
It's a calling, yes.
I've been put and responsible of all these people.
Yes.
I can't take that lightly.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot take that lightly, because I am where it ends.
Yes.
And they are where it begins. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like, it's important for me to really, like, this work is really important. Like, I don't play, and you know, people try to come against me and, you know, do things and try to, and it's like, that's a dangerous game you're playing.
But you still push through the adversity,
I
through
do.
all the pain,
and
some
days it's hard. Some days, you know, I lay in a bed and I sleep it out, or some days I may go treat myself, you know, to whatever I want. And I'm talking about food, because I'm a foodie.
Hey, listen, y'all ever want to hang out with me and Mia?
But listen,
we where the food is at. That's one thing about us. We love food.
No,
we where the food is at.
For real.
But that's just a comfort to us.
Yeah.
That's what makes us happy.
Yeah.
So.
And it's tourist season. That's my moon sign. So like, I'm really.
You are a tourist.
Yeah, like and I'm like really in my, you know, like I'm in my comfort, like my like low key, like.
And Taurus got me. Taurus season has me very like shadow work.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're like. The Taurus season is like the earth sign, and so you have to ground yourself. So funny, because even what I wore today was like an earth stone, you know, unconsciously. Yeah. And just like that very greeny, you know, earthy tone. And I feel like I'm in a stage of like grounding myself and really looking in the mirror and trying to figure out my journey. I know my journey, don't get it wrong, right? I know my journey. But my next level. Yeah. Because I feel like I've reached a point in my life where it's time for me to transition into another level. And I feel it. It's like, okay, I'm 35 years old. I feel like I'm going back from being a butterfly to a caterpillar. You know, I got to use this whole butter, because you know that's my thing, right? Yeah. Because I appreciate the journey that a caterpillar has to be a butterfly. But I feel like I'm coming from that stage of being a butterfly to now rebirthing and going from caterpillar stage to in a cocoon. And you know, in order for a caterpillar to make a cocoon, they got to sit in their shit. They use their shit to make the cocoon. No, for real. And in that dark moment and in that space, they have to think about every fucking thing they need to do to break out of that cocoon, right? Yeah. And that's why it means so much to me. And I feel like I'm back in that stage of sitting in my shit. And it doesn't mean that it's bad I'm sitting in my shit. It means that what is next? What's my next level? Yeah. I'm sitting in my shit and I'm looking at myself and I'm doing shadow work because I'm no longer that old version of Tasha. I have stepped into a role, right? We knew our mission, we knew our calling, but now I'm in that role. And so because I'm in that role, how can I dare some things to for me to be light as a feather, for me to fly without no restriction, for me to guide in this world of infinite opportunities. And so I feel like I appreciate the journey. It's up from here. Like I feel it. It's like what's next for us
Who
is
knows?
more for us.
Like, who
you know?
knows, you know?
Yeah.
But it made me, when you were saying that, it made me think of like different colored butterflies, you know, like when you were first saying you were a butterfly and you went back into the caterpillar to the cocoon, I'm like, okay, you're going to become a bigger butterfly.
Okay.
But then it made me think about the different colors, and I thought about the white butterfly.
Yeah.
But you know how you got the monarchs, you got the ones that
Yes.
do, like you got these different.
Come on, talk about it.
Hey, it's different levels of butterflies, you feel me? And so I'm like, wow, like, and I'm like, what if like the white one is like the highest?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
It is. It's
the highest, the purest.
It is. It's pure, right? Yeah. Okay, so we gotta get.
No, but
no. Here's the thing, because I want to highlight something because you got on white, and then I like my white candle, right? It's my white candle burning clear. That means I don't have big energy in my house. Period. It's burning real clear, because when you burn a white candle when it burns clear, that means that you are clear. Yeah. But anyway, so white is the purest form, right? White is rebirth. What happens when you walk to an altar? You walk in white, pureness, right? You're a virgin again. And so I feel like, yes, you are correct with your analogy. It's like when I go into that cocoon stage and I bust out as a white butterfly, I'm pure. Babies are pure. Yeah. People, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a pureness that comes out of you until it's dry, you know? But other than that, it's like, that's where I'm at right now in my stage in life and moving forward. The babies is coming out.
We've been out here way
too long. Okay, but I want to do a quick game really fast. Give me a second, guys, because they ready to get to their mommies. All right. But I did want to do a quick game really fast before we get off of here, just to spice everything up. So what if you had $1 million and you can go anywhere in the world? Where would you go to give birth? That's a heavy one.
You know, I don't know. I want to go to one of those countries where they give women like 6 months off.
Okay.
You know, like like maternity leave. I want to, like, I don't know. I feel like it's messed up, right? Because I feel like those type places are like Sweden and places like that. But the holistic side of me wants to be like in like the tropical rainforest. Yes. So if I could find a happy medium, but with $1 million, I'm sure I can make that happen.
You can make it happen.
I'm gonna fly the doctor out.
No, you got $1 million to spend, so you can do whatever.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be in the rainforest, eating fresh fruits and fresh juices.
What place you say? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
I don't know. Maybe Costa Rica.
Okay, Costa Rica.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at Costa Rica.
Giving birth. Are you gonna give a natural birth or in the woods?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I wouldn't mind being surrounded by nature. I think that would be beautiful. When I had a doula, I definitely had like the music going and stuff like that. But yeah, like I would definitely want to be like somewhere tropical, not too hot and not too sweaty though. Not too hot and sweaty, but you know, yeah, like definitely like, you know, just surrounded by like just all natural stuff. Like I'm gonna get me a private chef. Baby. I need the works.
I know. So if I had Leah, can you be quiet?
I want to get banded too. I've never done it.
You're not doing that.
I want to do that. Like I didn't learn about that till after I had my baby.
That's part of my postpartum package is doing being banded. If I had $1 million and I had a choice around the world to give birth, I think this is hard for me because I feel like I got like a lot of places. Yeah. But I think I'll do a Belize or Jamaica. Okay. I think I'm gonna do Jamaica. Well, I say that I want to be surrounded by melanated people.
I was about to say you going in the mud, the gas and rubbing.
Yeah. Like, baby, come pull that baby. One gone, right? Pull that baby. No, so one is because I've already been involved in the culture growing up, but two. Sorry, yeah. But two, I feel like just the women in Jamaica are very supportive, right?
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful there. Like the nature there is beautiful. I know I'm gonna smoke good. I'm gonna eat good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm gonna get that good cocoa butter rub down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna talk that good talk to me. Like I feel like Jamaica will be a place. And then, like you said, I'm gonna fly a doctor around. We're gonna have a midwife. It's gonna be a photo shoot.
Yeah,
like
all that.
it's gonna.
Girl.
It's gonna be everything that I can imagine, right? If I had that type of money, right? It's gonna be extravagant, you know. But Jamaica is like home to me, so I feel like I will go back home and just explore and enjoy the culture of Jamaica. Eat some good oxtail and some jerk chicken.
I would love to experience like that type of, you know, experience, like that old, that grandma type of like
taking care of you, like giving you warm soup.
Like, I've seen like
Stop it.
I believe she is Jamaican or Haitian, but like she gave her daughter like herbal baths.
Yeah, but that's what
after she
that's a holistic
yeah,
we give them
yeah.
herbal baths and
But
stuff
this
like
is
that.
like her mother doing this.
That's
so it's
beautiful.
something that's been in their culture, you know, which I think that's important as Black women reconnecting with our culture when it comes to, you know, birthing our babies, when it comes to our mental health, like getting back to those things that kind of like were embedded in us, you know, that are like our nature, you know.
Yeah. So
Okay, yeah. We
it's time to go. It's time to go. We got a wild child.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of the birthing, you got this one right here. This is our last baby. She has a lot of energy. Say hi, since you always make your debut. And come here, Kendall. This is my 1 pound, 13 ounce baby, Kendall Richards. Say she's going to SPCA for vocals this year.
And y'all picture was so pretty.
I know. It's so cute.
And the Inquirer.
It's so cute.
I didn't see it. You didn't see it?
Yeah.
You did not show me.
Well, it just released today. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so if you guys enjoy our conversation, make sure you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come sit down.
I'm glad I bring them other kids.
I
They was
know.
trying to come to
My children is. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Living Room Conversation. Follow us on all social media platforms, The Living Room Conversation. You can follow me at Latasha Shelton or subscribe to my personal channel, Boss Life TV. And Mia.
You can find me at Mia Sharice on IG and the Glow Up Gangsta. And y'all don't get on my Facebook.
Okay. So we hope you like the conversation. If you know someone that needs to know this information and maybe struggling or maybe not know where to start, please share the information, share the live.
It does not cost you anything.
And it doesn't cost you anything to
No,
share and
not at all.
support, because I feel like we definitely gave you valuable information
Yes.
that will change your birthing outcome, right?
For sure.
And if in Mother's Day we will be featured in the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Yes, this Sunday. And it is live now. If you go, I think it's Cincinnati.com.
Yes.
It does cost $1. Don't be cheap. Just go ahead and subscribe. They give you 6 months.
Yes. And you
just make sure you cancel your subscription.
please do. And you can find an article about what me and Mia does. And the work that we have put in. And of course, we use our birthing experience to share awareness to our community.
Or click the link in my bio.
And
Because I did put it in there before I came here.
Okay, so click the link in Mia's bio and you will get the full
straight
article.
to it. Yes.
For sure. So we love you guys.
Yes, thank you for your support. See you next week. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
to
Mother's
all
Day.
the beautiful
Yes.
mothers out there. You know, do something nice for yourself.
Yes.
Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself.
Because these kids is gone.
So do mothers want to be with their kids or without their kids on Mother's Day?
I'm a mother every day. These kids is gone. These kids is tomorrow morning they dropped off. First thing, yes, ma'am. First thing in the morning, you guys are gone. Okay.
It's only a day away.
No, seriously, right? Anyway, so we will catch y'all in the next episode. We love you guys.
Love you.
Peace.